Hello, everyone. Thank you so very much for coming back to Ultimate Creative for another Ultimate Creative Chat. I am here with Sheylon and Sandra from Ginsation,
Yeah.
and they are a ginger drink company, and they're going to tell you all about themselves. But we are so very happy to have you all here today. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about Ginsation and how it all came about. And first, introduce yourselves, please.
So I am Sheylon.
And I'm Sandra. And as she stated, we're both co-founders of Ginsation. And I'll let you start with the story.
Okay, so pretty much Ginsation, it is our baby. It is our all natural, no artificial sweetener drink. And what makes us special is Ginsation is made with organic Peruvian ginger. And
Okay.
so a lot of people don't know that there really is a difference in ginger. And Peruvian ginger, it is the hotter, spiciest ginger you can find. It's the highest quality. So,
Okay.
yeah, and it was made because when Sandra became pregnant with her first child, the doctor told her, get her ginger for immunity, digestion, all of that good stuff. And
Okay.
I was making something all natural for health reasons. We both have our science degrees. So
Okay.
we're really into food-based medicine. And so when they told her that she needed something with ginger, we bought ginger chews, ginger drinks, whatever we could find. However, it
Okay.
made her worse because of all the additives and sugar.
Oh, wow.
So I took to the kitchen, used my degree, and Ginsation was born. We didn't know it at the time. We were doing
Okay.
something that was daily for us, that made us feel good in our
Yeah.
bodies. And lo and behold, God was doing this the whole time.
Wow. And you all are sisters, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're sisters.
Yeah.
How
I
did I
learned-
not say that?
That's okay. Who was born first? Who's the big sister?
I am.
Okay. So big sister was definitely looking out for little sis.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. And so your company is based in Northern California, correct?
That is correct. Out of Fairfield,
Okay.
California.
Okay. And do you ship worldwide? You ship just in the US? How does that work?
Yes, we ship in the United States at this time. And then in Northern California, we are in Nugget Market. We were in 10 locations. So we are rapidly expanding in retail. But yes, we do have our e-commerce platform. Anyone can follow us at Drink Ginsation, and that is Ginsation, Ginsation. And then you can find us on our website, www.drinkginsation.com.
Okay, that's pretty plain and simple. Drink Ginsation. It's a tongue twister, but it's consistent. It's going to be the same across the platform. So that's
Well, you know what? You know what? Tell her what Ginsation, where it came from and what it means.
yes.
So Ginsation. So it's a ginger sensation. So when you're drinking it, you get this feeling, you feel the heat, like she said, organic Peruvian ginger is a high quality ginger. You have the potency, the taste is there. And every time we would drink it, we would just have this feeling. We would just feel this zen moment come over us. And so that's really how we came up with the name Ginsation.
Yep, ginger
Wow.
sensation. I feel like I can conquer the world every time I consume. This is actually our cherry delight, and
Okay.
this is Sandra's favorite, and this is our sunshine burst, and this is my favorite of the four. We like all of them. We made them together, but those are our
Awesome.
top flavors, and I just feel like I can conquer the world every time I have one of them.
Awesome. What are the other flavors, just in case people are curious and they haven't made it to the site yet?
Yes, well, we also have our citrus mist, which is our ginger lemon honey. And we also have fresh zest, which is our ginger with elderflower. And that one is no added sugar, and it's only 5 calories per bottle. So you can have a lot of fun with Ginsation. So you can chill it, you can warm it, have it like tea. You can make smoothies with it. So just put some frozen fruit, add a bottle of Ginsation, and it just gives a pop of heat and flavor to your smoothie. It's actually amazing that way. And then it's also used as a mixer for sparkling water, juice, however you like to use it.
Okay, that's amazing.
This Ultimate Creative Chat is sponsored by Dr. Sandra Ingram, Life Coach. Life is pretty good, but your best days are just ahead. Are you constantly arguing with your friends and family? Earning less money than you know you're worth? Don't let your joy be a hostage to disappointment. Talk to Dr. Sandra Ingram, a certified dream building coach who's helped women achieve success in relationships, health, and time and money freedom. It's a career she's enjoyed for over 30 years. Choose individual or group coaching to get on the road to success. Grow your communication skills, confidence, relationships, balance, time management, and professional success. Head to www.dringramlifecoach.com and let Dr. Sandra Ingram breathe life into your dreams. Follow Dr. Sandra Ingram on Facebook. Back to the show.
Thank
Well,
you.
yes, it's nice to be able to be versatile, and not just have one use for everything. So that's
Absolutely.
great. Yes. Well, tell me a little bit about, you told us about how you got started. What has working together done for you? Because you guys are you have other industries and other things that you do career-wise. You're doing Ginsation together, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a really great question. I mean, I think it's helped us learn a lot more about each other because being an entrepreneur and taking the steps to start a business, it's a very, I would say, endless job. The job doesn't end. You do
Yeah.
everything. So we're learning as close as we were before. We're learning a lot about each other. It's helping us develop our strengths and our weaknesses and identifying different areas where we may need improvement or where we may not be as flexible.
Okay.
So I tend to be the type of person that can multitask and I can do several things at one time. Sheylon is more of a laser focused person. She likes to, do one thing and then move on to the next. So we butt heads in that area a lot sometimes because
Probably because of me. But,
Oh gosh.
I mean, it has just been such a learning curve and lesson. Like coming from being a high school teacher, like I taught high school algebra for over 10 years.
Okay.
And then I moved to Atlanta and I was there for a decade. And during that time, I got into mixology as well. So that actually served me with my degree, even to make these beverages. But I'm learning more of the corporate. I come from the, I'm also
more of like services. Like you're used to,
hospitality,
serving, teaching.
Right. And also
Wow.
even being a show up strategist, I was telling you what I do for women on camera and showing up in person, just your
Yes.
authentic self, that a lot of that is performance. So now that I have to do emails and purchase orders and I'm like, hold on, like,
What is this?
what did I sign up for?
It's a whole different beast.
Yeah, so I'm learning something that I didn't necessarily really have to do every single day of my life. Like, that's the biggest part right now as a, new emerging brand, and we're really expanding. So it's a lot of, and it's just us. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so I do most of that because Sandra, which helps support our business, she has her own consulting business. And so she works full time. So we're figuring it out.
Yes. I think that's what we're all doing. And that's the whole reason for this channel and for the videos that we've been putting out. Everyone is figuring it out. And we want to be able to share what we have learned, the obstacles that we've overcome so that we can all get better, grow, increase in our business, increase as women, and just evolve, continue to evolve and change. But speaking of change, I'm sure that some of those tendencies that you noticed in your sister were not always there as you all were growing up. Did you see and notice that about your sister before, you actually had to work together?
I would say no, because I don't think you pay attention in that way. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
why I think that being entrepreneurs and taking this journey together, it helps bring a new dimension to the relationship. So it
Okay.
makes us connect on a different level. And, she's my accountability partner. I'm her accountability partner. And, we just kind of hold each other to it. But being an entrepreneur, you have this vision, you have this dream for where you want to go. And when you start a
Mm-hmm.
business, you're just thinking, oh, wow, we're going to have this product and we're going to be business owners. We're going to be in stores and we're going to make it available to the world. And we're looking at the output.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not really taking into account everything that
Cost.
goes on
Yes.
behind the scenes, which is the cost of the business, the logistics of the business, the endless work hours, the
Yes.
learning curve, getting to know people,
Yeah.
supply chain, like she said, she comes from hospitality and the field of education. And with me being in corporate America, I come more from the pharmaceutical industry and the healthcare industry.
Okay.
But beverage, we're learning a new industry, we're learning new people, we're learning new language, we're learning new laws. So a lot to it, a lot to it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun for sure, but it's a lot of work.
A lot of
Oh.
work. And one thing that I guess I didn't expect is we actually spoke, we're mentors. So we spoke with some college students, and one of them asked us a really great question that I'll never forget. He's like, well, how many days out of the week do you not know something? We're like, we both said every
day.
Yeah. And so I just want to put that out there that I think I've grown as a person in terms of I've been pretty risky, but I'm showing up for myself in a different way. Like
Okay.
I take what I do, even in television and arts and entertainment, there's an unknown, but I didn't know that also existed kind of in a corporate way, even with the beverage business.
Mm-hmm.
So having to be patient sometimes, even when we're waiting for ingredients to come in or production to be put off, like taking that skill set I had, it literally applies to every part of life that you don't always think. So
Yes.
yeah, so I think it's okay to not know. And through working with my sister and our advisors, I never learned to say, I don't know until this business. Because as a teacher, I'm helping everyone else. I always have the pressure to feel like I know it and to figure it out. And that's what I was used to. And now I'm
And
like,
you had all the answers.
yeah,
Because you did.
I did. And here I don't.
Right. Well, and it's important to recognize when you don't. And I had a guest recently who talked about not trying to do it all, and that you can have it all, but you can't necessarily get it all by yourself. So you are going to need a team, and it sounds like you have some resources at your disposal where you can learn what you need to learn and find the information that you need. So how were you all able to actually address that learning curve and find out what you needed to know about being in a new industry, being the drink industry, and just being business owners again?
Well, I think, LinkedIn is a great resource. And as business owners, we're not afraid to ask questions, like Sheylon was saying. So we will definitely reach out to different colleagues that we've met at beverage industry meetings, reach out to grocery managers, just
Awesome.
making connections whenever and wherever we can. And, I would say everybody is really receptive.
Yeah, that's been great.
That's been great. And
That's
so,
really
because
good.
one of the things I learned even working in corporate America is don't be afraid to say what you don't know. People are actually willing to help, especially at higher levels. I mean, a lot of CEOs and managers and VPs and business owners like to mentor like we do ourselves. A lot of people just don't reach out because they do have this assumption that you should know already. But reaching out has worked
tremendously for us.
Well in our favor.
And we were blessed before we even launched and our drink was made public that we were part of BevNet, their finalists in their beverage showdown. So
Awesome.
from thousands of people to being the top 12, and then we got down to the top 6. And so that helped expose us to a lot of people in the industry. And so we have people that say, reach out to us anytime. We just want to help you. So that has been really big. We have like a circle of people that are willing to answer questions and step in that you would expect they would say no. And they have said yes every time.
Awesome. And yeah, you have definitely done a good job of getting yourself some exposure. You've been on Roland Martin Unfiltered recently in the last few weeks. And also, I think the Today Show.
Not yet, but we
Not
received
yet.
that. We received it.
There we go.
Hey. Come on, thank you, Danielle.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, hey, you never know. The sky is really the limit.
Right.
So you're doing some things right, obviously, and getting in front of the right folks.
We'll be right back. Do you own a growing business? Danielle Rosser's clients get the keys to success when it comes to meeting their bottom line. Reach your intended audience with the proper branding, messaging, and storytelling when you partner with UltimateCreativ. So what can UltimateCreativ do for you? Click the link in the description for a consultation and let's get started.
What would you encourage a new entrepreneur to do, or maybe someone who's thinking about launching a new product or service?
That's a great question.
I would say to tell them to start and to start now.
Start in research.
To start,
Yes.
to start and to start now. And I say that because a lot of times we psych ourselves out. We think we have to have so many things in order. We think we need to know so many things just to get started. And you really don't. You'll realize once you're in it that everybody else is navigating and figuring this out as they go.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
there's never any perfect moment or time. So that's what I would say to a young entrepreneur. And especially if it's a woman, and especially if she's a mother, because, I have 4 children. So I'm a mother of 4 and it's been tough, but the timing's never going to be perfect, but it does all balance itself out and it does all work out in the end.
I think you're right. The timing is never perfect. You always think, I'm going to do this when we get to this stage, and that stage gets pushed back. And then, stuff gets put off. And so you just don't do it. But I agree with you. It's a good idea to just go ahead and start. And I agree with Sheylon as well. Get the knowledge, get the information by doing your research and really seeing what it is that you don't know. Because until you do it, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. Right. And that's kind of hard because you have to really be careful with that, because I coach in this area. I work specifically with women 35 and over, and there's a reason for that. You can research and scare yourself too much that you don't start. But if you don't start, you won't know what could have been. So there really is a fine balance, because you do have to get started and you have to have some knowledge. But some people literally, and like Sandy said, she's a mother, where there's women who aren't mothers, but the older you get, the more you start not trusting yourself, because you have not done yet what you said you were going to do, which is what I coach women in. It becomes tougher the more and the longer you drag this thing out. So you got to get started, basically, like you said. So
there you go. That's very big, being able to trust yourself. A lot of times we're counting on people to trust us, and we're counting on them so that we can trust them. But we need to be able to trust ourselves too. And when we let ourselves down, a lot of times that can kind of ruin that trust factor, that even in ourselves. So,
Absolutely. And
yeah.
I actually coach in this area for women 35 and over because it almost happened to me.
Mm,
So we're, like Sandy said, we're mentors. We both have our own businesses where we coach women. But that people say, why do you specifically deal with women 35 and over? Because it was almost me that did not do this. And
yeah.
I do not want to see that happen to anyone else because we know the value that you even learn about yourself. So
Mhm. Isn't that something how we can just talk ourselves out of things that we
easy.
know? Yeah, just so easy. And
For
I mean,
me,
we don't.
Maybe, I don't know.
we're a little different though. For me, I
Okay.
know, Danielle, exactly what you're talking about.
Hmm.
I completely connect with that. But I'm asking her because she's a little different because I look to her like she has so much going,
Hmm.
but she still gets it done. Like I told her even
Yeah.
before we got here, I was just like, I don't know how you do everything you do. And she just does. So she has this ease to it where I just don't see that in everybody. So she might not
Yeah.
relate to what you're talking about. I do, but do
Yeah,
you?
I
I
think it may
don't
be a
know.
thing about high achievers because I noticed that with some people who I know who are high achievers, and they tend to not really talk themselves out of doing things. They will go ahead and do the research and see what it is that needs to be done,
That's right.
and just start doing it. And I mean, they'll do it semi scared even.
Mhm.
But the rest of us are kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Let me
opposite.
research one more
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Hearing you say that, 'cause I was thinking, I don't know. I was trying to think of a
Mhm.
situation that I've actually talked myself out of.
Yeah.
Can't think of one.
I
I can't think
yeah,
of
but
one.
it's a good thing because I've learned so much partnering with her that has made me different. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the things she has, it's not because she's so different and life is so easy.
Right.
It's because of her decisions.
There we go.
Decisions.
That's what it
And
is.
yeah. And I remember just that I just thought about this, but this was a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago. This was probably like I might have been in college, but I had an opportunity and I just remember saying this, and this. She was like, well, you talked yourself out of it before you even went. And I remember that was like a
Wow.
life-changing moment where I was like, don't do that again. And so
Yeah.
we do it and don't even recognize it. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I teach and coach trusting yourself again, because after we give people 2, 3, maybe 2, 3, 4 chances, then we're like, I don't trust you anymore. But
Right.
what about you? The
Right.
1,000 times you said you're going to start the business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But I think it's cyclical too. I
Yes.
think the high achievers are high achievers because of those decisions, because they haven't talked themselves out of doing it and they went
Right.
ahead and did it scared. And
Yeah.
then it just goes around and around.
Do it scared.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Well, do
Yeah.
you all have any last tips that you want to give to our new entrepreneurs or some ladies who have been in business for a while and maybe they're scared to take the next step to elevate to the next level in business?
Yes. I mean, I would say my last words would be don't be afraid to make mistakes. So talking yourself out of it is one element, but don't be afraid to make mistakes because you will make them. They're going to happen.
Yes.
It's life. It's inevitable. Nobody knows everything. So I always go in with a mindset that, if I'm here and I'm trying my hardest, then the mistakes may be minimized, but they're still going to happen.
Right.
And so don't get mad at yourself. Give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up. Just learn from it because that's really how we all learn in life. Even as children, when we're under our parents' roofs and when we're in school, we learn our best lessons from where we made mistakes and where we learn what not to do again. So I do believe, like they say, experience is the best teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then my second one.
Oh, she got a second one.
Sorry, yeah. So my second one, like you said, for the business owner
That's
that
okay.
they want to elevate or go to the next level, operating your purpose. Because I feel like she says to me all the time, oh my gosh, you have 4 children. How are you doing this? How are you doing that? But I really pray and try to live my life to be in alignment with what God wants me to do. And I see it as like tithing or different kingdom principles. When you tithe, it seems like I'm giving away money, but you actually end up with more money and more resources because God continues to bless you in that way, because he
Right.
doesn't want us to just hold on to things. He wants us to fellowship and he wants us to share and be servants. And so it's the same with the business. It takes time to run and operate a business. Now, once you start running and operating more than one and adding on different levels of dimensions to it, that's obviously going to take more time. But giving away more time actually gives you more time when you're in your purpose and you're doing what God wants you to do, because we all have 24 hours in a day, but God will definitely continue to bless in that way to where it all balances out and it will all work out in the end.
And I would say, and before I forget this, to have everyone follow us at Drink Ginsation.
Yes.
Because we try to do this. One of the things we wanted to do was hide. Okay. We didn't even want to come out and necessarily have our faces out there. But when people found out who created this amazing product that's changing lives, we felt like we don't have the right to hide. Like God gave us something. We don't have a right to hide. You need to come out. So thank you for this opportunity, Danielle. And so what I would say is I would tell people to take a risk, because the older we get, we lose risk taking as well as trust in ourselves. So I would say, don't be afraid to show up for yourself, no matter what age you are at now, because you don't know what could happen. And I say, take a risk and choose to show up, even if you're fearful, because some people aren't operating in their purpose and you won't know till you take the next step to figure that out. So yeah, life is something else. And people can also follow me at Sheylon Haywood. Follow my Instagram, because like I said, I work with women specifically in this area, because there's major boundaries of fear after not doing what you've always wanted to do. So
absolutely.
Yep. Take a risk. And do one today. And that could start small. It could be sending an email for the business owner. Who are you afraid to email or follow up with or put a phone call in? What are you running from? It can start small before you just take the big leap. Like start small. That would be my advice.
Absolutely. Okay. And then Sandra, do you have a different Instagram handle or anything for your consulting firm?
Actually, not at the moment. I don't have it, but I do have a website, and the website is www.iamsandrareid.com.
Okay. And it's REID, correct?
Yes, REID.
Okay, great. Thank you, ladies, so very much.
Thank you.
Yes, I have enjoyed our conversation, and I thank the ladies out there. And if there are any gentlemen watching, thank you. I think we all got something from this conversation today. We'll definitely have to have you back.
Thank you. We would love to come back.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you all keep it here at the Ultimate Creative YouTube channel for more excellent content such as this.
Get in touch today to find out how you can become an Ultimate Creative Chat sponsor.